Over to Bob Bonner right now in the Live Alert Center with more. Bob?
Yeah, Bob, we are learning overnight dozens of bodies were taken out of the Pulse nightclub. Those bodies were moved 4 at a time on stretchers, and they're taken to the medical examiner's office. Fewer than half of those bodies have been identified as of this hour. We've also learned 39 of the 50 who were killed actually died inside of the nightclub, another 11 at the area hospitals. Keep in mind, with everyone inside, 1/3 of the people that were inside of that club were shot in some way or another. This morning, the people of Orlando obviously waking up in grief. This is what they'll find on their doorsteps this morning. This is the front page of this morning's Orlando Sentinel. The headline reading, "Our community will heal." Now, Paris City Hall announcing just moments ago the Eiffel Tower in the City of Light will be lit in rainbow colors to honor the victims in the Orlando killings. Obviously, this is the tip of the iceberg. This morning, we will bring you any of the latest developments from the Live Alert Center. Kim, back to you.
All right.
Continue to follow those developments coming out of the City of Orlando. Just learned moments ago, a third gun has now been found, a revolver found inside of the shooter's car. Now, he did purchase all of these weapons legally, this despite being investigated by the FBI several times. Another new detail this morning that people who live in the area around the shooter's home in Fort Pierce, Florida this morning have now been allowed to go back inside of their homes. This morning, investigators are still there combing through his home, looking for any clues to help determine, one, if he acted alone or if he was inspired to commit the act or ordered to do so. Keep in mind that phone call pledging allegiance to ISIS. They'll be looking for communication links in his computer as well as social media. Investigators have also released information on the victims moments ago. They're saying the victims ranging in age as young as 20 to as old as 50. Bob?
Over to Bob Bonner now in the Live Alert Center. Bob?
Yeah, Bob, you know, we continue to watch the situation out of Orlando unfold. Up until this morning, ISIS really hadn't claimed any responsibility in this, even though that phone call from the shooter going out claiming to be a member of ISIS and doing the shooting there in honor of them. But again, just moments ago, Site Intel Group, it's a site I follow on Twitter that monitors all of the ISIS activity online. ISIS now calling the Orlando nightclub shooter one of the soldiers of the caliphate in America. From what we know, this is the very first time ISIS has claimed a partial responsibility in this incident, now the worst terror attack, as long as homeland shootings take place in the country. We're going to continue to follow the developments there coming out of Orlando. Carolina in the Morning continues after the break.
Bob Bonner has more now in the Live Alert Center.
Yeah, Bob, we are keeping an eye on this morning. Investigators are still combing through all of the evidence that has been left behind after the worst mass shooting ever to take place on U.S. soil. 1/3 of the people inside of that nightclub either shot or killed. That is a staggering stat this morning. In Orlando again, the sun's coming up in the Pulse nightclub. Investigators are still there. Fewer than half of those people that were killed have been identified. Those who were killed ranged in age from 20 years of age to 50. Dozens of those bodies were moved overnight, taken to the medical examiner's office. They'll try to identify those. And again, around 5:30 this morning, ISIS calling the shooter a soldier of the caliphate in America. It's the first time that they've put their name alongside this massacre. Now, if our director Jerry Jones wants to pull up the Apple TV, I can give you an idea of what residents are waking up to this morning. I brought this to you during the 5 o'clock hour. This is the front page of the Orlando Sentinel. Let me see if I can turn this a different way and bring it to you a little bit bigger, saying our community will heal this morning. This, again, the front page of the Orlando Sentinel is that community trying to come to grips with what has gone on there. I'm learning some more details now about the shooter, Omar Mateen. We're going to bring you a soundbite. I'm working on that right now of his wife talking about why she left that relationship. I'll have that from the Live Alert Center a little bit later on.
Now back to you.
Again, we come over to the Live Alert Center where sun is now coming up on the City of Orlando, Florida, the Pulse nightclub. This is a live look, an aerial look. And I was just, as we again was doing the weather, this is the window that police made their entrance when the SWAT team came in, blew that window out to go in and taking down that gunman, Omar Mateen there. While they're trying to put the names of the dead this morning, we're starting to get a much more clear picture of who this shooter was. The 29-year-old described by co-workers as unhinged at times. He worked for G4 Security, was licensed to carry the weapons he used in these shootings. Investigators talking to friends who said he wasn't an overly religious man. His father described him as his #1 son. But it's his ex-wife who has come forward saying she left the relationship because of abuse and his mental state.
Instability, emotional instability, sickness, he was mentally unstable and mentally ill. That's the only explanation that I could give, and he was obviously disturbed.
And again, this morning, this Pulse nightclub, still a very active crime scene. They were bringing out bodies last night. Again, they have identified 21 of those bodies, which means still 29 unaccounted for. The names of those people have not been put in place. That means family, friends, loved ones still trying to determine whether or not their missing person is still alive at this hour. There was a vigil overnight here locally, 7 o'clock this morning, top of the hour. That's when they will hold their next news conference out of Orlando, Florida, to give us any new developments in this case. Guys.